welcome to another One Shot Wednesday. Although somebody in the last video pointed out that there was more than one shot, so not really One Shot Wednesday, so I think that's a fair point. Gary Sugden suggests I call it One Spot Wednesday, but I'm going to go One Shoot Wednesday, because it's going to be one shoot and I might take 2 or 3. I might just produce 1, who knows. Not going to be too long, as it's a Wednesday night anyway. And today I'm at Janet's, or Janet's Foss. Foss means waterfall. And the story goes, the legend goes, that the Janet was the queen of the fairies, and she lived up in that cave up there, behind the waterfall. That's where she lived. I mean, it's hard to get to, but you could find out whether that's true or not. But it's owned by the National Trust. It's a lovely waterfall. The river, or the water, is flowing nicely, but it's not quite as full as it was yesterday. We didn't have any rain yesterday to speak of in Yorkshire, but a few days ago we had quite a lot. So I'm here for a few days on a photography trip, going back today, so I'm just going to shoot this before I go. So I love waterfalls. You don't get waterfalls in Essex at all, so it's been really nice to shoot this. I love coming to waterfalls when I go up to the peaks or the dales or the Lake District. I just love anything up in North of England with a waterfall, so I'm always attracted to it. And in the summer it looks really good because we've got the lush greens, we've got the moss, the colours are just amazing. So it's going to be a long exposure photograph. I've got to go across this piece of water here because the shot is going to be from a log over on the right hand side, which I'm going to get as my foreground. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my wellies on, although I've discovered they're not particularly grippy, so I am slipping a little bit, but at least I'll keep my feet dry while I get the other side of the water, and then we'll do the shot. Might just be One Shot Wednesday this, but whatever. Okay, let's go and do that. Made it safely. Wow. So this is the place I wanted to shoot it from, and what's good about this is we've got this big log here. Let me just show you through this camera. We've got this big log here, okay, and it goes around and across here. I want to just try and get the fork of the branch in, just otherwise it disappears off and you wonder what it is there. So that's going to come around here. We've got this here, all the way around here, and then the leaves on the top here, and they're all just framing the waterfall, which is going to be on the right third. So a nice composition. Got an exposure of around a second, just about a half a second, which is fine. I've got my filters here. All I've got on is a polarizer, just to take off the glare off the front here. It's not full polarization, doesn't seem to be working forward. It's all to do with the angles. These leaves at the top here are really good because what they do is they stop the light, the daylight, which I don't really want, interfering into the picture. Now there is quite a contrast in the highlights of the waterfall and the shadows of the tree, so I'm going to have to blend these exposures in Lightroom. I may be able to get away with using just the one exposure because the highlights aren't that bad, but it is a raw file, so remember the raw file is not what you're seeing on the screen here. So I'm going to shoot it anyway as I'm here. So we're going to shoot one we're going to go f11 actually. I've had it on f8, but if I go to f11, that gives me 1.5 seconds, and then we'll shoot another one, a half a stop or 1 stop underexposed, so that we get the highlights in. Right, let's shoot that now. Now, if you stop those flashing zebras, I've got to go 2.5 stops, so I will, and there's still a few even with that. So I'm going to really go to town on this bracketing to make sure I get this. I really do think it'll be okay, because if you remember the Cathedral Cavern photographs that we did, I had a 9-stop blend there and I just used the one file. I mean, that's better. The shadow detail in this camera is quite staggering. Right, so we've gone 1 under. We're now going to go up to normal. I don't need to go over because there's no point. There's still lots of shadow detail in this. But there's a load of exposures there. Every one of them would have blurred the water. Good. One more. And that's what the camera is saying is correct, but you'll see that's well over. So there we go. Well, I think that's done. It was really a one-shot Wednesday, but I'm going to rename it to One Shoot Wednesday. So thanks ever so much for tuning in. I've got another video coming on Sunday where I'll once again be in the North Yorkshire limestone dales. I don't know, I'll be in North Yorkshire. Okay, so I hope you can tune in for that. It's quite a good one. See you Sunday, 6 o'clock. Subscribe and like.